Hello, everyone. I'm Dark Devin. That's right. And I mean, that's right. So, anyways, I am Dark Devin, the most powerful evil of all of the lords. And that's right. So, just as I was about to say something, was that this, by the way, if you guys do see the effect that you're seeing on the screen, well, I had to improvise for something a little bit more effectively different. For something I would do, by the way, in chipchamp.com. So that's all I had to do right now. But like I said, this remains to be less important to talk about. But I'll say this, by the way, that the AI had pretty much not done an effect, but it may still roll in, which it did, in fact. But I'll say this right now, is that, well, all I can say is that, for once, by the way, I was really hoping to see if it didn't roll in. But unfortunately, it already did. Which at this point, two unexpected things that might happen with YouTube. Which, trust me, I'm on neither side of whatever goes on. Because, like I said, I am Dark Devin, the scariest killer of my non-dark version that is yet to exist. So, what I can really say right now is that here's what I can physically just say. By the way, in fact, that all I'll say is, and I mean, all I can say is that, well, as in for the schedule of a little bit of changes, a little bit to say right now that, by the way, us horror killers, creepypastas, and twisted ones will be sure to make more videos. By the time then, that we'll still make more content for everyone. Right now on this horror channel, for anybody that loves scary violence and horror and all other stuff and junk. But remember, by the way, that I will be making videos for only 1 day or 2 days of making videos, for whether that's going to be rolling in for the months or weeks. That depends on making the videos on this channel. And yes, by the way, I was going to let Chucky play on with the next game. That, by the way, I'll be sending Chucky to be playing Five Nights at Freddy's 2 right now, and will still remain to do the modes for right now. That he, on the other hand, can do the mode next. But that's all I'm gonna do right now, is send Chucky to play out for the next game. So anyways, you guys will get to see Chucky play in the game next. And speaking about game right now, is if you guys had checked the last video, then I recommend you check the last video, by the way. Because like I said, if you check it, that'll be great. But if not, that's fine. So, just right now in this video, that all I can say to expect, to know what's really going on for what people are really saying right now, that there could be a speculation that might go along with two options. That, again, if it still continues being there, the AI will still continue to be there. The only two problems that will be another suffering and countering by pretty much what's going to go on is the protest. Ah, yes, the protest. As I never heard of anything of a protest before. Trust me, when it comes to myself as my dark self, of me, of Dark Devin, then I probably would know why, of what would probably even go on with a protest. So, as I can say, is that whatever's going to go on with that protest is that, oh, if the protest does continue, well then tough shit and tough shame exactly for whatever that's going to go on. And yes, I do refer to YouTube. That's what I was referring to. You know, for the first protest, we may never expected that might happen. But holy crap, isn't that going to be wild? And as in for the Clippies, is pretty much to go out and do the protest. But as myself originally, Dark Devin speaking, to say is this. By the way, whoever does get hurt by the protest, or should I say, gets hurt in the progress of the protest, which I meant by saying that, which I did meant to say that. But if it really ever does pretty much go on, then remember to defend yourselves as possible as it can be. But that's all I'll probably be pointing out. So anyways, that's all I want to say to point out. But like I said, if the AI still continues on pretty much with the update, then yes, go again, by the way, to the alternatives of YouTube, which even if it is or isn't a choice to do, then that's exactly what people might have to do next. But if not, that's fine. I probably would be expected to be surprised out of it. That's all I would be expected to be surprised about. So, let's get down to the next part of business. So, the next down part of the business exactly for number 2, what really would go on exactly is about the lawsuit that YouTube might be facing exactly for that challenge. But like I said, I remain to be at the center. Not remain to be at all at some points to be hit around. But like I said, even though this is a little bit of my thoughts exactly, as myself is Dark Devin speaking to be exactly saying that. But like I said, from me, I probably wouldn't care, because then for me, I would at least try to care at some points. But when it's like AI, I do not insist till you fully gain to trust the AI. Exactly, because for myself, I mean seriously, well, my voice would sound like AI to me. That sounds a little bit impossible to do that. Like seriously, that's a little bit ironic, don't you think? Or a little bit less ironic to hear that. But enough with the pun of the jokes. But here's what I'll say next. Is here and right now that all I can say for what will be next, of course, is that, well, I do again actually make another plan to make another video coming up soon with Chucky. That, oh yes, he gets to be taking on another challenge that will be known to be is Freddy Circus, or should I say Freddy Fazbear Circus, or whatever the challenge of the mode is in FNAF 2. But trust me, I don't know what the next mode's ever going to be when Chucky plays the next one, but whatever though. But like I said, only 1 or 2 videos for right now. For the regular schedule, that's going to be just a little bit differently changed on the schedules right now. But anyways, all I can say is that I am Dark Devin. Thank you guys again for watching this video. And remember, if you're a new person to this channel, go ahead and definitely consider to subscribe. If you're a new person to this channel. But anyways, hope you all might as well enjoy the satisfaction of this video. And might as well enjoy this anyway for the horror killers. Or pretty much for anybody to enjoy. For right now, for who enjoys our content of scary. But anyways, all I'll say right now is thank you again for watching this video. And for much more. And as in for right now, that I am Dark Devin. Thank you guys again for watching. If you want to see new videos like this, then go ahead and definitely consider to subscribe. And also, by the chance right now, is that, well, I'll say this by the only minute that'll be 9 minutes and 20 seconds of the video, the stamp of this video that's being recorded, is that right now, that the good news is that all of us are safe for right now. That we're only at 60 or 70% good. So, that's what I can say too. And also, I wouldn't be too surprised for whatever was going on, by the way. Like, originally in myself, I would have been surprised too, but unfortunately, I wasn't surprised. But whatever floats the boat of any boat that floats, then let it float. But anyways, all I can say right now, basically, is that hopefully, and I will sincerely, hopefully, that we're all gonna still remain safe on the platform. But anyways, all I can say right now is if you're definitely new to the channel, then go ahead and subscribe and become official horror killer to join us. But anyways, like always and likewise, is thank you again for watching this video. So anyways, take care everyone, and like always, if you're definitely new to this channel, then go ahead and like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. Thank you. Anyways, see you guys again for the next video. Peace out, sign out, and don't worry folks, Chucky will be able to play Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It's just only going to be him playing the night. That's it. And then as in for another mode, for another few other modes that remains left in the game. Then whatever happens, whatever goes on. But anyways, Dark Devin speaking. I'm going to be leaving momentarily soon. But like I said, thank you guys again for watching and enjoying the delightment of this video. So, without further ado, I am Dark Devin speaking. And like always, thank you for watching. Signing on out. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, everyone. Dark Devin is signing out. And also, by the way, I also did forgot one more thing before we left. Is, by the way, go to changeorg.com. That's right, go to changeorg.com. If you're also not knowing what that means, it means you might have to fill in for something for like cash or whatever, or some dumb shit or whatever that is. But like I said, if I were myself, by the way, go ahead, and I will say go ahead and check out pretty much changeorg.com. You can specifically find it in the search bar that you can find it. And also, go ahead and search and type in by saying it's like hashtag save YouTube, and also hashtag ban YouTube's AI. Which, by the way, the only thing I can say is that if you're ever new to the idea with change.org, it means that you might have to get to the goal, which you might have to fill in like money or whatever that you have to do. Which, trust me, I'm not into any of that either. But like I said, it's the only way for people to go on to changeorg.com to specifically have it pretty much removed and banned off. Which means the update will pretty much no longer cares to cease exactly to exist. Which means it'll be dissolved, for that example. So if I were you, by the way, go to changeorg.com and definitely help out, by the way. If anyone has or has not checked it out, then go ahead and check it out, by the way. That way the goal can get all the way over there. So, that's all I can say for now. But without further ado, and also, by the way, go to changeorg.com by the end of September 4th. By the way, which if I'm not that correct, or probably is, or pretty much is correct, then pretty much let me know in the comments below if you guys can tell me if I was right or wrong by the chance of that. With whatever was going on with like, oh, September 4th might be pretty much considered still confirming to have the AI still remain in the platform. But like I said, it's the only option for people to go ahead and to go into changeorg.com and fix the scenario, which means it'll probably help and pretty much likely, let YouTube to decide to have it removed. But like I said, it's the only way for some people to do that. But for now, that's fine either which way it is. But anyway, this is just a one video for me to explain this here. Like, well, it didn't do anything exactly. It didn't do anything. Which, even though I was a little late to come to the topic, but still. But without further ado, I am Dark Devin, folks. Thank you all again for watching. Please be sure to give this video a like and comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified. So anyways, without further ado, I am Dark Devin, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. I will see you guys later and catch you all on later next time. So without further ado, thank you, and see you guys absolutely for the next video. Signing on out. Bye bye, everyone. See you next time.